Hello everybody, this is Terry Jeanette with the Tapping Flamingo. Today's video is another design video. Now lately I've been shooting a lot of design on the spots, but today is not really a design on the spot. Well, let me show you what I've got in mind and then I'll tell you a little bit about the history of how I've come up with these colors. So I have a Mod Podge of different beads and items I've gotten from various places. I just had a little spill right before I started filming this, so I got bead caps all over the place. But let me show you what I have here, and I'm going to tell you how I came up with this idea of these two colors together. So the other day, I was talking to a friend of mine whose daughter is getting ready to get married here in a couple months. And I really would have liked to have been able to make her jewelry. In fact, I was even going to make her jewelry and not charge her for it. I thought it would have been fun to do it. But I don't think she's going the jewelry route. I know she's not wearing a necklace, and from what I understand, she's wearing just what jewelry she is wearing is very minimal. So that's fine. She probably has a gorgeous dress that she just wants to show off and not have any jewelry to distract from that. But when I asked my friend what her colors were, she said they were a dusty pink and juniper. Well, I knew exactly dusty pink. I have these rhodochrosites that I got from a Beadbox Bargain several months ago. And to me, this is what dusty pink is. And actually, when the mom showed me her dress, it was this color. But as far as the juniper goes, I was thinking it's probably a soft green, maybe like a sage green. But I was wrong. It is actually more of this color green. A very, not really Kelly green, but it's a darker green. And as I did some research on wedding colors, these are actually some popular colors right now. And I really want to do a necklace with these. So I got out some more beads. This also came from Beadbox Bargain. I've been getting it's Bargain Beadbox, not Beadbox Bargain. Bargain Beadbox is the monthly subscription. Beadbox Bargain is the store that you can purchase things from. But I'll probably mistakenly keep calling it Beadbox Bargain. But Bargain Beadbox this month had these fancy jasper in them. Like I said, this I got a long time ago. I've been getting these subscription for several years now. And most of them I absolutely love. And then I thought freshwater pearls might go good in this combination. And of course we have the bead caps. These bead caps came this month in September of 2020. They're a little small for the beads that were sent, but I think they're going to go really nicely with these 6mm rhodochrosite. So we're going to use those. And what else do I have here? I have these really pretty, very pale pink crystals that I actually got in Puerto Rico a couple of years ago when we were cruising. So I want to put some of those in. And I want to brighten this up a little bit. I like to mix my metals a lot of times. And since we have copper, I thought silver would go pretty well. And I have some little tiny silver beads. I actually think these are crimp beads, but I'm going to use them as spacer beads. And that'll brighten it up a little bit. And then I'm going to use these toggles that I got also from a Bargain Beadbox. In fact, everything I'm using today is from a Bargain Beadbox except for these pink crystals. Everything else is. All right, so let's get to creating here. First thing I like to do is just see what I have. I already got my bead caps out since they spilled all over the place. And I have these pretty beads. And my rhodochrosite. I know for a fact I'm going to use these. So I'm going to start just putting these up on the board. And some of the rhodochrosite is more of a beige. I don't want to use those. I want to make sure we see the pink. So I want to make sure to pick the right ones out here and just lay them up. I actually did a little bit of a survey on my personal Facebook page and my Tapping Flamingo Bling Facebook page, and I asked some Etsy sellers what length necklace they like the best. This actually is just it's not going to have a focal to it, so it's just going to be like a row of pearls. Or, of course, they're not pearls, but it'll be that type of look to it. And so for me personally, because I'm very small across the neck area, I would probably go for a 17-inch, but this might be an 18-inch for the average person, and most everybody said 18-inch. So we're going to shoot for an 18-inch necklace. Let's see, where's my toggles? Here they are. I'm going to put these up here for now, the toggle clasp, at about where I need them. We don't want to go past the 9 mark because we were doing an 18-inch necklace. So I do know I want to use freshwater pearls. So we're going to open these up and just start putting them in between here. These are some other crystals I want to use. They came with the bargain bead box September of 2020. Aren't they beautiful? I just absolutely love those. So we'll definitely be using those too. So let's go ahead and stick those in between each of the beads. You got to make sure you put these in the right order. I've got them going before the pearls. So when you do that, just make sure they're before the pearls. And throughout my creating, I continue to make sure that everything is even and all. I know I want to use these green glass beads because they are very much like the jasper that they were talking about. So I want to make sure when you look at these, some of them, these all look really good, but I've noticed some of them are off-kiltered. So you're going to make sure your beads are uniform. In some creations, you may want them to kind of look a little bit more organic, but with this piece, I don't want it to have that organic look of odd shapes. So let me see. I think I'm going to put them in between the crystal and the pearl. So I have all my crystal, the green, pearls, and the pink. I did want to add some of these pink crystals in there. So I'm actually going, I don't want the crystals to be next to each other. So I'm going to put them between the pearl and the green. It's one thing when you are looking to design your crystal, your sparkly stuff, you kind of want it to be spread across. You don't want to all clump together. So we have crystal green, crystal pearl, pink. And then we've got crystal green, crystal pearl, pink. And you just continue to do all the way around. The other thing too is you don't want your pinks to be together. You want those spread out a little bit. Now the last thing besides the bead caps and these tiny little silver beads that I would like to add are these. All these beads are pretty much the same size, but I think something that's a little bigger is going to bring more interest to this piece. So now I've got to figure out where I'm going to put it. I don't want them near this green because they'll kind of mute each other out. And I am going to try, I don't know if you can see here, but this fancy jasper The colors are anywhere from like a gray green to a deep green. There's even some of these beads that kind of look purple or lavender. I want to try to pick the deeper greens out to put in here. This one right here I think is a really cool piece. It has some striation to it, and I'm going to try to put this in the middle. I'm not really putting a charm or a focal down, but this may look really pretty in the center. So in order to figure out where the center is, I am going to start with I will call these stations, where you have the pink and the crystals from one pink to the other pink. That's like a station, okay? So I need to figure out the middle here. Or what I could do is just bring them, I got to carefully bring all the beads down, because this, usually I can do it that way, but because this has got such variation to it, it may be hard to actually find the center by counting certain beads. So I'll just kind of bring them around here, trying to keep the beads where they're supposed to be. And just scooch them a little bit. I want that to be my center. So we'll see where that falls. Whoops. And because these beads are a little sideways, they should be like this. They're going to take up a little bit more room than normal, but we can pretty much get an idea. Okay. The center looks like I think I want to put it right there. And that winds up not being the center. I can always kind of move it around a little bit. So that puts it between the pink crystal and the pearl. So that means these other beads, I need to put them between the pink crystal and the pearl, which is perfect because it'll make these other beads pop. So every place where there's a pink pearl and a crystal, I just need to separate them out and stick a bead there. So I think I pretty much have everything laid out. The only thing I need to add are the copper bead caps, the silver spacer beads, and of course I need to put my clasp on. I really like the way this has turned out. So I am going to string this up, and then I will show you the finished product. Well, I have it all strung up. I need to just go back and check and make sure that I don't have any beads that aren't where they're supposed to be. Sometimes that could happen. I was trying to be careful when I was stringing these up to make sure that the next bead I was putting on was indeed what the next bead was supposed to be. There was one area where the pearl and the crystal got switched, and I did catch that before I actually strung it up and was halfway done. As far as the striated bead, it's pretty much in the middle. It's not right smack dab in the middle, but it's fine. I just wanted it to be where you could see it. The middle is not where that would have been. I mean, it's almost perfectly in the middle. Anyway, let me go finish this up, and then I will show you the finished product. I'm going to try to show you how to put on these bead tips. I actually like to use these kind. A lot of people use crimp beads, but I don't like the way the crimp beads look. To me, they don't look finished. I think in order to get a more finished and professional look, you need to use these. But if you like the other ones, that's okay too. What you do is, these are called clamshell, because they kind of look like a little clamshell. But you just feed it onto your wire, and then I tie 2 knots on top of each other. And then I just take my pliers and gently squeeze it. And then I take my wire cutters and I cut as close as you can to that bead tip. And then you just kind of feel, like I can feel it there, so on my neck it would probably scratch it, so I just take my nail. This is probably why my nail polish doesn't last very long like it should. It lasts pretty long, a couple weeks, but you would think it'd last longer. But I do stuff like this. I'm always using my nails as tools, which you probably shouldn't. But anyway, I don't feel it anymore. So I'll just kind of give it a little gentle squeeze. And then I'll get a jump ring and put the jump ring here onto here, and then you have your clasp. The other side, you need to do the same thing. Let me just slide all the beads down to the bottom, and I leave enough where I'm going to be able to tie 2 knots. Where's my bead? Here it is, my bead tip. Just feed it through the bottom. And then I have this tool. It's called a pin. And this works really good to slide my little knots into the opened up clamshell there. Just feed it through there. Tighten it up. And then tie another knot. This is just an overhand knot. And make sure you feed that in there. You don't want to feed the knot over the bead tip. Sometimes it will get caught, maybe underneath or around this little hook thing. You need to make sure it actually goes in to that opening without going around, under, or whatever. Once you've got that done, you gently close it up. Again, you cut your access. Feel if you have any rough edges, which I don't. And then I'm going to go get me a couple of jump rings and put these on, and we're going to be finished. All right, I got me a couple of jump rings. I need to open them up. I won't use my nails this time. I usually do, but I won't. Close them back up. Make sure you don't have any space in between there. Again, open it up. Close it up. And then you're just going to hook your toggle to the hook of the bead cap. And you're going to just carefully close that up, like so. Same thing with the other side. And make sure that's closed. Put it on there like so. And you have a finished product. Not a pretty toggle. So we have a finished product here. I really love the way it turned out. I finished the end here. I made sure that the ends both matched there with the rhodochrosite, ending with a bead cap and then a little silver ball. I use, or silver bead, and then I use the clamshell bead tip. and it turned out to be 18 inches exactly. Let me put it on so you can get an idea, whoops, of the length. Get rid of that. But isn't that pretty? I think it turned out really nicely. It is actually very neutral. And it's going to be hard for me to give this one up. But I will list it in my Etsy shop probably within the next couple of days. We have fancy jasper, rhodochrosite, freshwater pearl, several types of crystals, glass beads, and silver tone and copper. Thanks for hanging out with me for a little bit. Please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Most of all, y'all have a great day. This is Terry Jeanette with the Tapping Flamingo signing out for now. Bye-bye.